Hello everyone, thanks for having me here to the IOSG Layer 2 Summit. Today I'm going to talk about now and the future in Layer 2 ecosystem from wallet perspective. I'm Chang-Wu from imToken. Currently, I lead imToken Labs doing the research in Taiwan, including our next generation wallet design, DeFi protocols, and the Layer 2 solution, and see how to apply this technology to make our product even better.
Our mission and vision is to build the most reliable and intuitive digital wallet that gives everyone equal access to the tokenized world. So that is why we think Layer 2 solution is extremely important for us to build an environment with high performance and a low transaction fee to the users without sacrificing security. Especially today, users can afford the expense to perform the operations on Ethereum mainnet. Though we can see lots of new users start coming to crypto space to try DeFi, GameFi, and DAO applications. But high transaction fee becomes a barrier to make them turn to other blockchain. Fortunately, Layer 2 solutions become more mature and evolves quickly in recent years.
Let's dive into some numbers. Here is the data from DeFiLlama.com. We can see the top 1 to top 5 of the total value locked on all chains are Ethereum, Binance, Terra, Solana, Avalanche accordingly. What do you think when you see the numbers? Why Polygon is not there since it's popular in June? The answer is the blockchain market is so competitive nowadays and changes so fast. For the TVL on the Layer 2, currently it's around 5.8 billion, 1/30 of Ethereum, which still has potential to grow in future. And if we see the Layer 2 numbers, we can find that the TVL start to grow up by the end of the August, when Arbitrum launched their mainnet. With the advantage of EVM compatibility, more and more dApps are deployed on the Arbitrum, such as Uniswap, Curve, Balancer, and so on. In addition, from StarkEx weekly statistics, millions of transactions happen on the StarkEx service. Compared to the last year, more applications come to the Layer 2 solution, not nearly token swaps. For transaction fee, the data is from Layer 2 fees.info website, and the fee on Layer 2 is cheaper than the mainnet. Its transfer is 1/4 cheap, and the token swap serves 95% transaction fees. However, there are many roll-up solutions. Which one should we choose, and what is the difference? There are two main roll-up solutions, ZK rollup and optimistic rollups. For these two rollups, they both move computation off-chain and store complex transaction data on-chain. The only difference is ZK rollup uses validity proof, means that ZK rollup not only stores data on-chain, but comes with cryptographic proof to verify transactions, which is more secure. On the other hand, optimistic rollup uses fraud proof under the assumption that all transactions are valid without verifying the correctness of data until a fraudulent transaction is detected. So the challenge period is required for users to withdraw their funds back to Layer 1.
For now, Arbitrum and OP are EVM compatible. From the usability perspective, they are friendly for developers to deploy smart contracts because developers don't need to rewrite the code and can leverage existing dev tools. Besides, dev accountability is preserved, so we still can have DeFi Lego. Only the challenge period is a problem, so optimistic rollup can become a short-term solution.
For ZK rollups, It's more secure and has shorter withdrawal time compared to optimistic rollup. However, it's not EVM compatible now. Developers need to learn new language to write smart contracts. Also, generating a validated proof is time-consuming, so optimization is required for the hardware. But we still can look forward to this technology once it's become more mature. Recently, StarNet, which is developed by Starware, is on mainnet and can provide depth compatibility. Despite contract developments need to be written in Cairo, OpenZemany has already provided some contract templates, and they are open-sourced. Developer tools are updated frequently and has complete documentation. So I would suggest if you are a developer, maybe you can go and get a try. This also can become a viable solution.
To date, there are many DeFi projects have already been deployed on Layer 2, just like Perpetual Protocol, Synthetics, and Uniswap are deployed on Optimism. For Arbitrum, it has several projects, for example like SushiSwap, Chen, Curve, and Uniswap. Tokenon, which is incubated by imToken, is also tested on Arbitrum. Besides, DYDX, Diversify, and the Immutable X are running on StarCake service. In my view, some projects might become the indicator as the reference for those who haven't decided where to deploy yet. For example, Uniswap and Chen, they are the building blocks for DeFi protocol. Projects need them to do token swap or token listing. But for those projects who don't rely on others, they can choose anywhere they want if the wallet supports to interact with or becoming an independent ecosystem.
Next, we will explore some topics related to wallets on Layer 2. As we know, the first step for the user to onboard Layer 2 is to deposit some tokens from Layer 1. User only needs to sign the transaction and wait for it being confirmed. For all Layer 2 solutions, the steps are all the same. This step is easy and the user will see their balance in his wallet. Due to the help of EIP 3085, it's easy to interact with multiple networks, so the user can have better experience. Then user can do anything until they want to exit Layer 2. Once a user wants to get his fund back to Layer 1, he will make a request for withdrawal. Because of the different properties between liquid rollup and optimistic rollup, the withdrawal time is different. Especially for optimistic rollup, the challenge period is 1 week for user to get his fund back. For liquid rollup solution, it takes minutes to hours. Compared to the user experience on Layer 1, withdrawal takes longer. Besides, the user experience on different Layer 2 solutions is not consistent. Therefore, bridge becomes an important role in Layer 2 ecosystem. A bridge is responsible for holding the assets on a blockchain, while the same assets are released on another. There are 3 cases we need the bridge. First is transfer from Layer 1 to Layer 2, and second is transfer from Layer 2 to Layer 1, and third is transfer from Layer 2 to Layer 2. Let's see the first case, transfer from Layer 1 to Layer 2. It's just a deposit, so each Layer 2 solution provides their native bridge. So looks like this is not necessary to have a bridge, but with the bridge, user can have consistent user experience on different Layer 2 solutions. For the second case, transfer from Layer 2 to Layer 1, since withdrawal takes longer in optimistic rollup, if there is a bridge help user to do fast withdrawal from different Layer 2 solutions, that would be better. So we need a rule as a bundle to provide capital for users to get the assets instantly. In exchange, they take a small fee for taking pricing risk.
For the third case, transfer from Layer 2 to Layer 2. It's just like a user having funds distributed across different banks. If one day when the user wants to buy a house or something, but he doesn't have enough funds, then he needs to do rebalancing between different banks. We call this as liquidity fragmentation problem. And this will happen when we are in a multi-rollup world. For a general user, if he can't move funds easily between different Layer 2, then he might stay with one Layer 2.
Nowadays, there are many bridge solutions like Hub Protocol, C-Bridge, or cross-chain swap like AnySwap or SY Finance. Recently, Binance announced to support deposit withdrawal on Arbitrum, so I think there will be more centralized exchange like Binance acts as a bridge in the future.
In addition to Layer 2 solutions, EIP 4488 and the EIP 4490 are proposed to reduce core data gas cost. As we mentioned before, rollup solutions need to store data on-chain, but bulk has its gas limit. Vitalik and some researchers suggest to reduce core data gas cost, so the bulk can accommodate more data. This is just like having a box with the same size. If you can fit more stuff inside without higher than the volume, the problem is the box will become much heavier than before, and only few workers can carry the box. So a bigger box is an issue for nodes to proceed and sync if we want to store more data. This introduces the overhead for the client to have bigger disk space. So EIP 4444 suggests to put historical data. Besides, if we have a multi-rollup world, we need to consider how to retrieve off-chain data in a universal way. Especially there are several Layer 2 solutions. Imagine if you are a developer, you need to read different documentation to know how to get data from different rollups. And the EIP 3668 provides a standard way for off-chain data retrieval.
At last, let's go with a brief summary. Layer 2 is wonderful, and is an ideal world we can have more users and assets. It provides a secure scaling solution with high TPS and low transaction fee. But the infrastructure is under construction. We need a bridge to make withdrawal fast, or do cross-chain swap without assets Layer 2. In the meantime, we need to define the standard to have a universal interface for wallet assets, so the user experience will be improved. Abstract account is less touched, but it can provide more features to users, like social recovery or having customized verification scheme. But it also needs a standard for wallet to know how to verify the transaction. Even we do all of this, we still need a new wallet to onboard new users. And this is the goal for imToken wallet to build the most reliable and intuitive digital wallet. Let's give everyone equal access to the tokenized world. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the talk. Thank you. Bye.